All right, welcome to chapter 2, which is services marketing concepts. Services, we're in the service industry. Hospitality industry is considered a service industry. So a lot of this stuff will be interchangeable. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our learning objectives. Describe the service culture and identify characteristics of services marketing. We market for services different than we would a hard product, right? And we're going to talk about that. Explain the service profit chain and explain the management strategies for service businesses. All right, we'll probably breeze through some of these, but we're going to talk about most of them. All right, service culture. It focuses on service that satisfies the customer's needs. Top-down flow of management and reflects the business mission, vision, and values. All right, so we really, as a service culture, we really need to satisfy the customer. Customer is the focus. All right. And next slide. Okay, so this is my biggest takeaway from this chapter is these four things right here. When you have taken HRM 110, when you've taken it, if you haven't taken it, if you're going to take it, I will talk a lot about the characteristics of hospitality. All right. So the characteristics of hospitality are very similar, or if not the same, as the characteristics of service, and that is intangibility, variability, inseparability, and perishability. And we're going to talk about each of those independently. Okay, intangibilities. Intangible things are things that can be not seen, tasted, felt, heard, or smelled before purchase. When they say felt, that actual touch. All right, we're not talking about feeling your feelings. All right, experiential is intangibility. It is something you experience. Quality is not known until you experience it. All right, so that is intangibility. When you have a good experience with an interaction of a front desk person at a hotel, that is intangible, but it is still something that the customer takes away, right? It is experienced, okay? So it's very, very important that we work on intangibles, right? Those soft skills for our people, that they are doing the right things to create that intangible experiential, experience. All right? So, and I'm breezing through these, and I apologize, but let's breeze through them. All right. So how do we judge it? Well, there's tangible evidence for even intangible things. It's a marketing effort to provide evidence that helps customers evaluate the service prior to experience it. All right. A little ad that shows an interaction where someone has an expression change from a harsh Karen to someone who is just really appreciative. All right. So examples would be promotional materials, employee appearance, and uniforms. Employee appearance, where that is a tangible thing, it creates an intangible experience. Okay. So you can read the rest of these. All right. All right. Inseparability. This is an important one for service and especially hospitality industry. When other industries provide a product, all right, our product is our service or is our room or is our food or whatever. When other people provide that, when other industries provide their product, they build coffee cups, all right? Person goes to the store, they buy it, they use the coffee cup away from where they bought it. All right. They might use it where they bought it, but the general purpose of it is to take it home and use it. Okay. Our products, our rooms, our food, our everything that we do in service and in hospitality service in particular, our products are experienced where they are purchased. All right. If you purchase a trip for a tourist trip, right? That trip is the product, and it's experienced simultaneous with the purchase. That every second you spend on that trip is the purchase, is the product. Okay, a restaurant, when you experience the meal at a restaurant, that is it. It is not something you can experience again. It is inseparable from the company that you're doing it, for the people that are providing that service. Same with a hotel. Okay, so that's very important to consider. Okay. We do not fire and forget, as it were. We don't push our product out and forget about it. Our product is us. Okay. So variability, because our product is us, there's a lot of things that can go every interaction. I mean, anybody who's worked in the industry knows that every interaction with a customer is different, right? So there will be some variability. Very, inconsistencies can be bad, are considered bad, but you have to expect there will be inconsistencies. If you completely think about it, if you're completely 100% consistent and you treat every single customer and every single interaction, every act of service you treat the same, well, you're not benefiting each customer, right? Customers have different needs. All right. So there will be some inherent variability. Variability is not your enemy. It can be, but it's not necessarily your enemy. Okay. So how do we deal with variability? We do want to make sure that we can increase consistency as much as possible in the things that we can, in the things that should be the same. Our friendliness, our level of friendliness with people, our level of listening, those kind of things we need to make sure that are consistent. So you increase your competency, you work on people's courtesy, their credibility. Nobody's credible if they don't have any background in it. Reliability, responsiveness, and all that other stuff. All right, you have blueprints, scripts, if you will, but don't get too married to those. All right. Monitor customer satisfaction. How are we doing? Ask the customers through surveys, social media, comparison shopping, things like that. All right, perishability. This is one that if you go through my program and have me in several different classes, you will hear me hound on the perishability of our industry. Okay, especially lodging. Okay, perishability means that when we provide a service, all right, if we have a time slot for a service and it's not fulfilled, or this is where it can cross over from service into something more tangible or different, like a hotel room. If we have a hotel room, we always have that whole hotel room. It doesn't perish, right? But the money we're going to make on that hotel room for August 12th, 2025, if it's not made August 12th, 2025, that money will never be made. We will make money for August 13th, August 14th, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the money that we lose because we didn't do one thing to make sure that we sell that room, that marketing that we could have done better to sell that room, if we don't sell it that night, it is gone. We never make it. And it's an important part of what I try for students to start to realize is we need to think managerially, we need to think commercially, like the success of our business is our success. And nobody wants to be conceived as being greedy or being that greedy company that's all profit, 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 money, 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 and we trample people. But we have to realize that if we make decisions and we do things and we take shortcuts that leave things to perish, leave the money we could make to perish, we are not going to be successful. All right. Or we might be successful, but those who are more successful are those who understand the perishability of our product and strive to make sure that each opportunity to make a sale is made. Okay. That is my biggest takeaway from this whole chapter. Okay. All right, the service profit chain. The links in the service profit chain are internal service quality. We want to make sure that our service to our people is good, right? That we're taking care of our folks. Satisfied and productive service employees, that our employees are satisfied, right? You cannot expect good service from miserable people, all right? And you cannot expect people not to be miserable if you treat them miserably, all right? All right? Greater service value. We need to create the value, increase the value for our services. You get this customer perceives a more bang for their buck. Satisfied and loyal customers. Produce those customers. Healthy service process and growth come from that, all right? And internal marketing is we market to our people. We're always trying to do what we can. Where I've told you before that service is every little thing about our product, how we conceive our product, how we conceive everything, how we execute our product. We need to do the same level to our people to market to them, okay? Managing service differentiation, right? This is very important. We need to make our hospitality service different. We manage it by innovation and creativity, brands and symbols, beautiful, well-known, in-your-face, unforgettable branding and symbols. People, our people, right? If we have, if we're not doing well, we maybe need to find new people, right? Physical environment, we have a good place where people come. The physical environment is absolutely important. We are not different from everybody else if our storefront, if our hotel front looks like everybody else's, okay? And our process, if our any time that you can save time and money in a process, and efficiency, increase efficiency, you are increasing value for the customer, all right? Because you can do more for less, and that time that more gets put into the customer's experience, okay? So managing service quality, we need to manage that quality, know the customer retention, create proper service delivery processes and mechanisms, examine actual service performance, examine it. You as a manager have to supervise, have to look, okay? So what else we got going on here? Recommendations for improving service quality. Listen. Teach your people to listen. Reliability, basic service, service design. Make sure that we're designing it. We're thinking about this. We're not just doing it because everybody, that people come in, we walk them to the table, whatever. Look how that looks. Design how that looks. Walking people to the table, making sure we're doing it in a very good way, right? All these other things. I'm going to breeze through this because I'm running out of time for this video. All right. So go ahead and read those on your own. And let's see. Managing perceived risk. Customer interaction. Electronic word of mouth is very, very important. We talk about social media. Everybody talks about social media as a form of marketing, getting our name out there and improving our businesses. And a lot of people will think that the first part of that, or the most important part of that, is when we post something, and it's very important. But what's more important is having satisfied customers that will show a picture of our room on their social media, saying, "Look how beautiful this room is," showing a picture of the little extra things that the housekeeping did to make it look nice, with the folding a funny towel, or funny towel in a funny way, or a cute way, or something like that. A plate. I mean, we all seen that. Or just saying, "Hey, I went to this place. They do a check-in on Google or whatever, not Google, Facebook, and they go out of their way to let people know that they enjoyed us, all right? Which is way better than them going out of their way to tell people that they didn't, okay? So all of this is interchangeable or interactive and very, very important. Everything you do to satisfy customers is important. All right, I'm going to cut the slideshow short here because these videos, I'm limited to 15 minutes. And I think this gives you a good idea where we're coming from. Service is very important. Marketing service is different than marketing coffee cups or even other types of services. If hospitality service is different, right? Every service industry, if you're going to a retail or whatever, we all want good service, all right? But service is part of who we are in hospitality. Hospitality, again, I cannot stress this enough. Hospitality means welcoming. If we are unwelcoming and distant and cold, we are not hospitality. Okay, so that's it for this week's for this chapter's video. There's other things to go over. Certainly read the chapter. Go over the PowerPoint on your own and use those flashcards. All right. Until next time.